this time, I'd like to call on Barbara Kaiser Collier to give the invocation. Jess Mans McKibben Jr. will now take his oath of office administered by Election Committee Chairman Frank Frazier. Would you please come forward?
Okay, got a green light. Can you hear me now? You have the podium, and I'll be honest with you. When I seen the name Jesse, I didn't know who they were talking about. I've only known him as Manzi. So that's the way I'll address him, as Manzi. I'm going to give the oath of office now. Congratulations, Manzi. He'll repeat after me. I, as the Secretary Treasurer. Oh, Vice Chairman. Sorry. Old note. As Vice Chairman.
As Vice Chairman.
Do solemnly swear.
Do solemnly swear.
That I believe and support.
That I believe and support.
Policies of the Quapaw Nation.
The policies of the Quapaw Nation.
And the laws of this nation.
And the laws of this nation.
I further solemnly swear.
I further solemnly swear.
I will work diligently.
I will work diligently.
Towards the goals and objectives.
Towards the goals and objectives.
Of the Quapaw Nation.
Of the Quapaw Nation.
And heretofore.
Commit myself fully.
To the responsibility of this position.
To the responsibility of this position.
For the purpose of which it was established.
For the purpose of which it was established.
We now have our new Vice Chairman, Manzi McKibben.
Thank you. I won't take too much of your time. First, I believe we had Dr. Mindy and Michelle were also good candidates, and I want to thank you all who supported me for putting your confidence in me. I look forward to trying to work for you. I work for you all. I'm just looking forward to doing that. I want to thank my cousin Mike for coming and fanning me off this morning, and my brother Bladen for getting that fire going for us this morning. That means a lot to me that they came and spent their time here this morning to take care of me like that. That was, my cousin Mike. That's my dad and my Uncle John's favorite nephew. So I really appreciate him doing that for me. And I'm looking forward to just getting to work for you all. I want to ask my elders and some of my grave digging brothers that if this was kind of said quite a while back by an elder that I respect a lot and my family respected a lot, that sometimes when people get in a position, they kind of become enamored with themselves and get on a high horse. I pray that the Creator keeps me humble and reminds me every day that I work for you all. So with that, I just want to reiterate that fact that if you guys, and if I'm able to help in any way or attempt to help try to do something for you, please reach out and I will do what I can. So, and I, you know, we're here today because we had a lot of good prayers from the ones that came before us, and they're still working for us today. So we're in a position that we're in because of those folks before us that prayed for us to get to where we are. And I keep praying for future generations, and looking forward to working for you all. Thank you. Appreciate it.
This time, I would ask the Secretary Treasurer to take roll call and declare quorum.
Chair Supernal,
Present.
Vice Chair McKibben, Secretary Treasurer Valier, present. Member Mercer, Member Davis,
Present.
Member Buffalo,
Present.
Member Gibbswater.
Present.
Madam Chair, declare quorum.
Thank you. Would you please call for the orders of the day?
Madam Chair, I call for the orders of the day.
Thank you. Business Committee, are there any corrections to the April 20th meeting minutes? Hearing no further objections, we'll go ahead and take the vote. All those in favor of adopting the April 20th meeting minutes as distributed, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Ayes have it, and the motion is adopted. The April 20th meeting minutes are adopted as distributed. Is there a motion to approve the directors and subcommittee reports as submitted?
Madam Chair, I so move.
Second.
You have a motion to approve the directors and subcommittee reports as submitted. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor of approving the directors and subcommittee reports, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The motion carries, and the directors and subcommittee reports are approved. We're going to go ahead and go to the chair's report. Away. The following tribal member passed away since we last met. Nola Robinson. Please lift this Quapaw family in your prayers, and let us join in a moment of silence. Benny Gay. We do have a few announcements. Our annual memorial dinner is being held here in the community building today after the monthly business committee meeting. We're blessed with the delicious smells and sure do appreciate the cooks and the firemen. We aim to hold an efficient meeting so there's enough time to set the room for dinner. Of course, you are all invited and welcome to stay for the memorial dinner. In addition, we do not have a podium today. It somehow got damaged, and so we're going to have to utilize the microphones to the best of our ability and appreciate your patience. Member Davis, would you please give an update on the listening sessions regarding the Good Eagle settlement remaining funds?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. 2 months ago, an overview was provided of the RSM Hobbs-Strauss analysis regarding the remaining funds from the Good Eagle settlement, approximately $21.4 million. The analysis was posted on the tribal website. Since that time, 7 listening sessions and multiple closed sessions have been conducted. Those listening sessions and closed sessions were an opportunity to both understand the analysis and communicate your unique concerns, questions, and recommendations to the business committee. The key questions we heard your views included: should the remaining funds be distributed to the Group 1 claimants or utilized to fund tribal member services or the beginning of a permanent fund? Should the total amount distributed include or exclude the legal fees incurred that tribal members funded? On what basis should the funds be distributed? This is where we need to discuss material differences in allocation between siblings, cousins, etc. in both Good Eagle Distribution 1 and 2. What might you recommend in doing the best we can to remedy that situation? We know it may never be made right for everyone, but the business committee does want your input so we can come to the best recommendation and approach. The listening sessions were made available via Zoom, but were not recorded or posted on social media or YouTube. Those listening sessions were primarily for Group 1 claimants, but all were welcomed. The feedback from the listening sessions has been thoughtful, constructive, and fair-minded. Since the listening sessions were completed earlier this week, the business committee has just begun deliberating. There are many items that must be decided, such as potential distribution, target group, process, timing, and amounts. We appreciate your patience while these decisions are made. This business committee understands the need to move forward swiftly. However, these decisions all require careful consideration. Gunna Gay.
Thank you, Member Davis. Member Mercer, would you please provide an update on the Ray Property Home Project?
On the Ray property, there's not a whole lot to update on, other than we've had a lot of rain. We've been unable to get in due to the road condition. We have 3 homes, though, that are completed sitting in the factory, and they will go up as quick as they can get in on the roads. This week, they have come in and started putting in the road, they're crowning, and then they will put all the gravel, which is sub-base, that will be required. And at that point, we will be able to bring the big trucks in carrying the panels for the homes. We have 2 homes ready for painting, and 1 we just finished sheetrock on, and we have 2 more that we're getting ready to sheetrock. We'll be proceeding with finish work in those 2. And that's just about it today.
Thank you, Member
Oh, I'm
Mercer.
sorry, we do have the slabs for almost every home, though, so it's, once we get the roads, it's gonna be go, go, go.
That is fantastic. Member Gibbs Water, would you please provide an update on the powwow grounds?
Yeah. So this report is as of yesterday. The water system installation only has 150 linear feet of main left to install. This is the last portion that connects the rural system and the metering system. We are working with the Rural Water District for meter installation. Shoemaker and Sons plan to excavate the remaining 150 feet next week. The stormwater installation is at approximately 90% complete. They have installed 160 linear feet of RCP in 3 structures in the last 2 days. They are installing the remaining stormwater next week. The contractor anticipates completing the stormwater system by the middle of next week. Rough grading and roadway excavation is completed. We poured 120 yards of concrete on the lower southeast side yesterday. We have 50 yards scheduled for Tuesday to pave the transition area by the big metal bridge on the south side. Shoemaker and Sons is installing base rock on the lower southwest side early next week. Once installed, we will perform compaction testing. Once that's completed, we have 100 yards of concrete scheduled for both Thursday and Friday of next week. This material will pave the southwest side. The plan is to complete concrete paving on the south side of the creek by the end of next week. CJW was staking asphalt roadways on the south side yesterday. They will apply base rock to the asphalt areas on the south side after completing the concrete paving area. A significant portion of this should be completed by the end of next week. Site cleanup has begun in the areas around the roadways. Grass seed will be planted as each area is cleaned up. Asphalt paving will be the last step of the project. The asphalt company estimates 5 to 7 days to complete installation of all the roadways out of the floodplain. BEI, Bills Electric, the electric portion of the project, has continued to install underground power and campsite pedestals. All electric underground utilities are scheduled to be completed by the end of next week. Final service installations, overhead lighting, change orders, and punch list items and hot checks are all that will remain. Liberty will be installing the new meters at all private meters of Quapaw Nation owned meters and personal individual family camp meters, which there's only 4 of them. They're all going to do that next week. This portion of the project will be completed prior to the civil construction completion. So we're almost there. We're just about there.
Excellent progress.
Yeah, just about there.
Thank you. Powwow Chairman Tony Shawnee is here this morning, and we sure would appreciate an update on the plans for the 152nd powwow. Can we get you a microphone? Thank you, Tony.
Thanks for coming, everybody. My name's Tony Shawnee, and I'm this year's powwow chairman. And the powwow plans that we've been making have gone pretty well. The powwow itself, from I guess years past, and I see it at other powwows as well, is the powwow is not the way that I was used to seeing growing up, you know, and it's getting more, I guess, commercial contests only. And me growing up, my experience was having your snake dance and buffalo dance and two-step and I guess what you call social dances. And I would like to this year try my hardest to have those dances and put them in the powwow and not focus so much on the contests only. And the time management, you know, I just don't like getting the powwows over, you know, so late, especially on Sundays, because I know a lot of people do work, and that's my other focus is trying to get the management of time that we all can get out and get back home, get to our camps or whatever it may be, that, you know, and I want to try to focus on that. So the social dances, I guess, and then time management is really my focus this year, and then the contests and everything pretty much take care of themselves as usual, and that's basically it for right now. Thank you, guys.
Tony, thank you so much, and thank you for being here today. Business Committee attended a variety of events this last month, and I'll just go through those quickly. Executive Director Bandy and I visited with Quapaw Schools Superintendent David Carragher regarding potentially offering Quapaw history, culture, and language in future school sessions. So we look forward to those future planning sessions. Held a 2024 midpoint budget review with those who directly report to the Business Committee. There was a Stand with Quapaw Nation against child abuse event at the Coleman Theater. Quapaw Nation Department of Public Safety and Ogapa Communications did an outstanding job on bringing education and awareness to our community. Secretary Treasurer Valier and I attended the Native American Finance Officers Association Spring Conference. Secretary Treasurer Valier, would you please provide an update on the key outcomes of that two-day conference?
Madam Chair. Your Super and I attended the Native American Finance Officers Association Conference in Hollywood, Florida from April 28th to April 30th. NAFOA conferences brings together tribal leaders and financial organizations to grow tribal economies and strengthen tribal finances. Many of the financial organizations present at NAFOA included banks, insurance companies, software companies, energy companies, accounting firms, payroll providers, and real estate developers, just to name a few of them. There were a whole lot more. There were several breakout sessions that provided more in-depth information on several topics that Native nations and tribes could employ in their endeavors to advance their economic conditions. Some of those topics covered included updates on the United States Treasury's tribal policy and the Treasury Tribal Advisory Committee, Department of Labor regulations on tribal employees versus independent contractors, new tribal tax legislation and changes to tribal bonding authority, sovereign wealth funds, cybersecurity trends, financial well-being through tradition and transformation, new funding opportunities and post-COVID transitions, government funding in an era of inconsistent appropriations, Tribal General Welfare Act of 2014, finding pathways for tribal agriculture, lessons and 105L leases for tribes, Office of Inspector General monitoring and audits, fueling tribal futures in a new energy economy, and leveraging fintech to increase access to the banking ecosystem. And again, that's just to name a few. There were so many sessions offered that Leanna and I had to divide and conquer to glean as much information as possible. We felt like the information and lessons that we learned will assist us in furthering the prosperity of the Quapaw Nation. The fellow also provides the opportunity for tribal leaders to develop relationships with financial institutions and other vendors that were in attendance. Leanna and I met with a few of the banking institutions to begin or continue building those relationships in order to further the financial goals of the Quapaw Nation. Our attendance at NAFOA was well worth the few very long, busy days we had. We will be utilizing the knowledge that we have learned from the conference to advance the economic well-being of the Quapaw Nation that will take us into a brighter future. And I have one other thing to say that I forgot about until earlier this morning, and that is they do have the Young Adult Leadership Program. And if I recall, Wayne and I had decided that we wanted to identify a couple of our tribal members that are young adults to be able to nominate to be a part of that leadership program. And I'm sure we'll be discussing that and reaching out to some of our young adults to participate in that if possible. Thank you, Madam Chair.
That was a great update. Thank you. Last month, Member Buffalo provided an update on our meetings held in Washington, D.C. the first week of April, where we met with multiple congressional offices and departments advocating for the Bear Settlement appropriation. On May 7th, I had the opportunity to testify before the House Appropriations Subcommittee on Interior, Environment, and related agencies on behalf of the Quapaw Nation. There were 3 other tribal nations on the panel that spoke on multiple topics. The Quapaw Nation had one topic, the Bear Settlement appropriation. Chairman Simpson, Ranking Member Pingree, and other subcommittee members appeared interested and supportive. We're trying to introduce a bill for the appropriation to Congress. The fact that Congressman Tom Cole, who now chairs the House Appropriations Committee, the same individual who introduced the congressional reference in 2012 that paved the way for the lawsuit into the U.S. Court of Federal Claims, works absolutely in our favor. We look forward to future progress on that front. Last, we continue to attend Northeastern Tribal Health System, Claremore Indian Hospital, and Intertribal Council Board meetings to represent the Quapaw Nation, its citizens, and the nation's interests. There were a large number of events held this last month, all the way from Paint the Res Blue for Child Abuse Awareness Month. The Environmental Department had an Earth Day celebration. Quapaw Nation Courts held a Native Legal Outreach Expungement Clinic and Legal Outreach. Drug Enforcement Agency RX Take Back Day. Farmers Market displayed their mobile food market truck at the Miami Mural Festival, and I hope you guys got to see it, but they were also recently on air this past week with Good Morning Four States, and it went really well. KSN and KODE premiered an hour-long program covering the Quapaw Nation's Anti-Violence Project of 2024. The project focused on the community coming together to discuss solutions to the issue of rising violence in our area. All Tribes Education Consortium, ATEC, held their wild onion and eggs lunch at the farmers market. The first farmers market was held, and just as a reminder, those are the first and third Fridays from May to October. There was a Quapaw Nation Cancer Awareness Golf tournament that unfortunately had to be rescheduled to September due to the wet conditions that Member Mercer already referenced. Was also a Missing and Murdered Indigenous Peoples Awareness Day. That walk was held at Cohota Center. And Last of the Dogmen movie was shown at the museum classroom. The Quapaw Historic Preservation Program also held a finger weaving class at the Robert Whitebird Center. There are a couple of upcoming events that I wanted to highlight. On May the 21st from 6 to 8 p.m., all are encouraged to attend the Medicine Wheel Garden planting at the Food Sovereignty Farm, hosted by Food Sovereignty and the Quapaw Nation Youth Programs, sponsored by Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration. On May 31st, that is actually the deadline for Camp Quapaw applications. Camp Quapaw will be held June 24th through 28th from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. The Ray property survey is still active, or it's active at this point. So the whole purpose of the survey is for us as tribal members to vote on what we want that property to be named. May the 31st, we have the grand opening of the splash pad. Good news. The drum singing circle was held every Wednesday from April 3rd, and that final session is May the 22nd. On June 8th in Grove, completing the circle event is open to any foster family that has current placement of a Native American child in care. Foster parents can earn 6 hours of training credit. Cultural Committee survey ends July the 1st. This is where the Cultural Committee had recommended a number of classes, and I absolutely want to hear from you. So that survey ends June the 1st. Upcoming graduates need to get their pictures in for the Quapaw Post by next Monday. We're not sure if that got announced, but that deadline is next Monday, so please submit those photographs to the Quapaw Post. May the 31st is the Quapaw Nation banquet deadline. So that'll be held June the 22nd from 11 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. So that's for all of the graduating seniors, high school, college, graduate school, PhDs, and technical schools. Kane Brown is going to be at DCR, Downstream Casino and Resort, on July the 3rd. The Cancer Awareness Team is having a fundraiser, and the prize is 2 tickets to that show. Quapaw Nation Environmental Office is doing a survey with a giveaway about climate change and how it's impacting your way of life. We want to go briefly through the casino financials, starting off with the Quapaw Casino. For the month ended March 31st, earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization totaled $525,000 with a margin of 22%. That result exceeded their budget expectation by $86,000, and year-to-date EBITDA is $2.5 million, while the budget was $2.4 million. So they're doing quite solid result, very solid result. See, the new casino development continues with the pre-construction phase, so that work continues through the design process. Downstream Casino and Resort. April was disappointing. It was a disappointing month for Downstream. For the month ended April the 30th, EBITDA totaled 7.4 million with a margin of 43.9%. April's result missed the budgeted expectation by 1.5 million and were 1.9 million than last year. Year-to-date 2024 EBITDA is 55 million, which is at 97, just a little bit over 90%, 7% of the year-to-date budget. Q3 EBITDA has started the quarter off at 87.9% of the Q3 budget. Based on the margin, they did a tremendous job of controlling expenses, but the revenue just wasn't there in the month of April. Downstream has looked hard at worked to determine what worked in April and what didn't, and immediately made changes to marketing strategies to increase revenue in May. And currently they're seeing a significant improvement in revenue for May. So that's good. Regarding Saracen, gaming volumes in April began to feel the impacts of a softening economy. It was a mixed bag compared to budget in prior year. The number one revenue source, slots, the volumes were down 2.4% and revenue down by 7.6%. Table game volume continues to reflect a softening, finishing 14% below prior year. Volatility in sportsbook revenue is to be expected, and April's results reflected this volatility. Sportsbook handle in April 2024 experienced a 151 increase in volumes compared to prior year, but fell below budget due to a low hold percentage of 9.9% for the month. The current year hold percentage fell below the hold in April of last year and the 13.3% budget hold for April 24. April sportsbook volume results were negatively impacted by the favorites winning in the NCAA tournament. Development of the hotel and event center is underway. Hopefully you've had an opportunity to see some of the progress photographs out there. It's pretty exciting. We've executed the formal guaranteed maximum price with Flintco, the general contractor. Significant progress has been made recently with the event center podium. The general contractor continues to prepare the existing 4-floor stub for construction to go vertical, and that actually just started this last week. Updates on the timing of the development will be forthcoming, with the initial estimates pointing to fall of 2025 opening. That concludes the chair's report. Beneke. We're going to go on to the subcommittee reports. Let's start out with the Elder Committee. We need to get a microphone to Miss Grace, please.
Hi, everybody. The elders are working on having a trip. We asked the BC for some support on that. We want to just do a quick half-day trip to the Joplin Museum, the Mineral Museum on mining, and then go to downstream for lunch. And we need the transportation from here to the museum and downstream and back. And we plan on being back here about 2:00. And we haven't heard anything on it. The museum is not charging us.
Well, that's great. I sure would like to go. Good museum.
We're trying for, with the director for June the 13th.
We'll get back with you regarding that request. Thank you, Brenda. Is that it for the Elders Committee? All right, on to the Culture Committee.
Good morning, everybody. The Cultural Committee met yesterday, and we were honored to have one of our elders from quite a distance come, Wilma Jo Shawnee, and she met with us and talked about some of Bill Shawnee's songs and some of the old stories and things that we can share with each other. And tentatively, we're planning to have possibly some sessions with elders, if we can get it planned, possibly by powwow time, to just sit in a room and talk with each other and share stories, somewhat like they had in the Orange Book that we published several years ago. So we're looking forward to that. Also, as Weena mentioned earlier, the priority list for classes and things that we're planning this coming year are online, and please make comments. I understand, I haven't been on there to see, but I understand that several people have been citing that, and we appreciate that very much. So we're moving forward with what we can, and one positive thing, it's always kind of been a burr in my saddle. The music that plays when someone puts you on hold when you call the tribal office is really funky, I guess you might call it. So I'm sure all of you have heard it. And Wilma Joe did give us permission to put the music that was on that record with the Orange Book that was Bill Shawnee on there. So we have permission to use that for our music for things. So I hope that the technical department can take care of that as soon as possible. Anyway, you're welcome to come and sit in our meetings anytime. Our next meeting is in Everett, the June the 20th at 1 p.m. at the museum classroom. So we welcome anybody that would like to come and give us their ideas or suggestions. And thank you.
Thank you so much, Barbara. Election Committee?
Okay, all I'm going to do is remind everybody that Monday the 20th will be the last day for anybody to file for candidate for the annual election. We have 3 positions open. That would be the chairman, secretary treasurer, and a member seat. Other than that, everything's going good. The annual election will be on July 27th here in this building as always. And we look forward to having a good election again.
Thank you so much, Frank. Grounds Committee?
Good morning. I believe it was the 2nd of May, we decided to go ahead and schedule our camp registration days for July 1st through the 3rd at 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and on the 5th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. So those are our kind of updates. Thank you.
And that's for registration, Julia? Okay, thank you. That was July 1 to July 3rd from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and then on July the 5th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Thank you.
Everything is held.
Are there any other subcommittees that would like to provide a report this morning? Oh, sorry, Roman, Constitution Committee.
Thank you, Chairwoman. First of all, I just want to say how good it makes me feel to see every seat filled sitting up there on the business committee. It's been a long time since we've had that, and it feels good to be able to see that. With the last month's report, the Constitution Committee was waiting on a legal opinion. We've received that legal opinion, which has confirmed some of our concerns about discrepancies in our governing resolution with the way that we operate through a number of things. So what the Constitution, so this has become our high priority, is to get that straight. Once we have these reconciled, there will be a an amendment process that we're going to propose at General Council, so we can bring our governing document into unison. You know, we haven't had a unified document since we started making amendments to our governing resolution. So this will be the first time that we'll be able to have that in quite some time. So what that's going to look like for us is that we're going to send out a mailer with that announcement, and that'll be done here in the next couple of weeks. So before the end of the month, you'll probably see a mailer identifying the changes that we're going to be proposing to the amendment to bring us into conformity. And then at General Council, we will have a presentation of our next steps and the next options that we need General Council's help with. That's where we're at.
Vernon, thank you. Before we move, okay, Grace?
Of news to our Quapaw Nation, the honorees have been announced now by AARP Oklahoma. They are Myron Quapaw, Mary Sky Cahiga, Bill Griffin, and Carolyn Knott.
Congratulations to all four of them. That is fantastic, having four Quapaws as elder honorees. So that awards luncheon and the recognition will take place on November the 6th in Oklahoma City at the First Americans Museum. Thank you, Grace. Let's move on to the Downstream Development Authority, Quapaw Casino Authority update. Huggy Supernaw.
Yeah, the DDA will soon be considering three major projects. The remodeling and moving of the Red Oak and the Spring River Buffet, and then the biggest one will be the remodeling of the hotel. It's 15 years old now. The CEO has requested architectural renderings for the Red Oak, so should be ready in a week or so, and we'll begin to consider those. We haven't even decided the order of those projects, so that's a major thing going on right now. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Huggy. We're going to move on to the executive director reports. Just as a reminder, those reports are directed to the business committee. If others in attendance this morning have questions regarding their reports, please pose your questions during open forum. Executive director reports were posted to the tribal website earlier this week. Eric Boone, CFO, do you have anything to report beyond what was posted?
I have nothing to add, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Eric. Trenton Stand, Executive Director of Resource Management, do you have anything to report beyond what was posted?
Just that we've taken samples down Missouri S&T for the rare earth mineral stuff. There's a lot of funding out there. At the end of the week, we took some additional samples down and had meetings, and a couple of our staff toured their facilities. They let us know that they didn't have all the data completed yet, but by June they hope to have basically all of our testing results back from the samples we originally took to them, a month or so ago. So they were positive, good results. Just further, there's an article that Missouri S&T, I think they received like $875,000 from a mining company to further advanced technology in reprocessing rare earth minerals from these mining sites. So they met with the lead professor that is heading up that research, and she's very excited to be getting some of our samples to further her research that she's been funded. So hopefully July report, we may have some good news on opportunities for further cleanup of the Superfund side outside of just, getting chat in road bases. That's all I have to add.
Thank you, Trenton. Executive Director James Dawson, Quapaw Facilities Authority, do you have anything to add beyond your posted report?
The only thing I'm going to add is the fact that we have completed the major portion of the fence at the DV housing. The back gate has been installed. They're there installing the opener for it today, and all of that fence will be functional as of Monday.
Thank you, James. Steve Estand, Executive Director of Tribal Member Services, do you have anything to add beyond your posted report? Thank you, Steve. Executive Director, Department of Public Safety, Charles Addington, do you have anything to add beyond your posted report? Thank you, Charles. Executive Director of Culture, Everett Bandy, do you have anything to add beyond your posted report?
Just briefly, Madam Chair, I just wanted to mention last meeting I said I was going to wait to announce the language director who had been hired because she had hoped to be in attendance. Don't think she made it here today, but I just wanted to let everyone know that we hired Mary Shawnee Jacobs to fill the language director position. She comes from a very great school where they do language immersion work. And then we do have an open position in the language department. The second position is a language research and developer that'll be working on creating language databases, working on development of apps, and assisting with curriculum development, among other things. So if any tribal members are interested in applying, that position is open. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Everett. If there's a question regarding one of the executive director reports, we're welcome to pose that question during open forum. Thank you. All right, so we're going to go on to item 7 of the agenda, the reading, correction, and approval of phone polls. Member Buffalo, would you please take the first one?
Yes, Madam Chairman. Phone poll number 28021. Authorize CFO to execute financial document requested by Eric Boone. Brief explanation. The poll is for authorizing the Eric Boone CFO to negotiate and sign financing documents for equipment purchase. This includes previous resolutions passed for equipment that the financial documents need to be completed for the next meeting. Having to wait until the next meeting would mean the possibility of losing out on equipment that was already approved. The vote on that was 6-4, 1 vacancy, and was approved and certified on 4/24/2024.
Is there a motion to approve the phone polls?
I need to approve the phone polls.
Second.
We have a motion to approve the phone polls. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor of approving the phone poll, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries and the phone poll is approved. We're moving on to new business, item 8 on the agenda. Member Mercer, would you please take 051824-A?
Yes, Madam Chair. Resolution number 051824A. This is a resolution approving the Quapaw Nation Elder Housing Compliance Policy. Whereas this compliance policy is an addendum to the current policies, does not replace any current policies related to the Quapaw Nation Elder Housing. Quapaw Nation Business Committee wishes to approve and implement this as an addendum to the existing Quapaw Nation Elder Housing Policy. Therefore, be it resolved that the attached Quapaw Nation Elder Housing Compliance Policy for the Quapaw Nation Elder Housing is approved and shall constitute policy until the Quapaw Nation Business Committee deems it necessary and prudent to modify or change this policy. Madam Chair, I recommend we approve resolution number 051824A.
Second.
Business Committee, is there any discussion on this resolution? All those in favor of adopting 051824-A, please say aye. All those opposed? The motion carries and 051824-A is approved. I'm actually going to take resolution 051824-B as in Baker, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L. They are all similar, updating the signatories on a variety of accounts to add Vice Chairman Mans McKibben. So these are all resolutions authorizing the Quapaw Nation Business Committee members to conduct business with a variety of organizations, and I'll read through them. The Bureau of Indian Affairs, Office of Special Trustee, Saracen Development LLC, Downstream Casino Resort, Downstream Golf Club, Quapaw Food Service Authority, USA, Quapaw Services Authority, Quapaw Casino Accounts, Ogapa Communications, and the Ogapa Coffee Company. I move that we approve resolutions 051824-B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L.
Second.
Any discussion?
There's concerns from a couple citizens that basically this is just for signature only, that we're not getting in.
This does not impact or conflict with the DDA and the Quapaw Casino Authority charters. You're absolutely correct. This is for signatories. There are certain transactions, once they exceed, there are certain transactions based on the dollar amount as well as the type of transaction that has to come before the business committee, and therefore we have to do the final approval. An example of that would be the annual budget and capital plan. The business committee is still obligated to review and approve those. Anybody else? All those in favor of adopting 051824-B through 051824-L, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The motion carries and the resolutions are approved. Vice Chairman McKibben, would you please take the next one, 051824-M?
Authorize the sale of the Quapaw Nation's at Goose Chat Pile located. As the Quapaw Nation's Business Committee supports the sale of the nation's on the chat pile on the Blue Goose Chat Pile located on the Quapaw allotment. Further agrees to grant access to the site to EPA and its contractors said interest. Understands that the share will be resolved by the business committee of the Quapaw Nation that the chairperson or authorized representative by authorized to execute that sale and access. Be finally resolved that the Quapaw Nation requests that the Secretary of the Interior or an authorized representative approve said chat sale of the Blue Chat Pile located.
Madam Chair, I so move to approve resolution number 051824-M.
I have a motion to approve 051824-M. Are there any discussion? All those in favor of approving 051824-M, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Secretary Treasurer Valier, would you please take 051824-N as a Nancy?
Madam Chair, resolution number 051824N, a resolution to authorize the use of trust restricted land located under the jurisdiction of the Quapaw Nation for mowing, baling, and to authorize the execution of the mow bale permit on behalf of the Quapaw Nation. Whereas the Quapaw Nation Business Committee supports mowing and baling, the allotment of town lots, as well as efforts to clean up any trash or debris found on the town lots while mowing, baling. In return, we'll be keeping all the hay that is produced. Therefore, be it resolved that the Quapaw Nation agrees to approve said permit supporting Travis Eby's request to mow and bale, and in exchange will keep all the hay that is produced. Madam Chair, I move to approve resolution number 051824-N.
Second.
We have a motion. Is there any discussion on 051824-N?
Madam Chair, I recuse myself. That is my son.
Any further discussion? All those in favor of approving 051824-N, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Member Davis, would you please take 051824-O?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. Resolution number 051824-O. This is a resolution authorizing the purchase of undivided interest in fee located within the exterior boundary of the Quapaw Nation and to authorize the chairperson or an authorized representative to execute the purchase on behalf of the Quapaw Nation. Whereas the Quapaw Nation Business Committee supports the purchase of property interest by the Quapaw Nation, the outright purchase of property described less the amount owed for back taxes and portion of closing costs. The nation further understands that owns an undivided interest in all properties below and is not the sole owner therein. Therefore, be it resolved by the Business Committee of the Quapaw Nation that the chairperson or an authorized representative of the Quapaw Nation is hereby authorized to negotiate and execute the purchase of the above described land located within the exterior boundaries of the Quapaw Nation and to promote tribal self-determination and such other uses as may be determined. Madam Chair, I so move to adopt resolution number 051824-O.
Second.
We have a motion to approve resolution 051824-O. Is there any discussion? All those in favor of adopting 051824-O, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? The motion carries. Member Buffalo, would you please take 051824-P as in Peter?
Yes, Madam Chairman, with a correction on the copy I have, it's listed as Q. Change that to P. It'll be resolution number 051824-P. Whereas the Quapaw Service Authority is in need of a CAT 326 excavator for remediation projects, the unit was rented new and the decision to buy will have all the rent payments applied to the purchase, having solicited qualified vendors and performed the due diligence in accordance with the current policy and ensuring sufficient and unencumbered funds exist, and therefore it be resolved that the attached purchase request for a CAT 326 excavator approved by the Quapaw Nation Business Committee. I so move to adopt.
Second. We have a motion to approve 051824- is in Peter, corrected. Any discussion? All those in favor of adopting 051824-P, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The motion carries. Member Gibbs-Water, would you take the last one, 051824-Q as in Queen?
Yes. Resolution number 051824-R. Q.
Q.
Correction on mine too.
Thank you.
Resolution to approve the waiting list form, pet agreement, housing application, and the housing policy manual. Whereas the Quapaw Nation Business Committee supports and adopts the following items to be used under the Quapaw Nation Housing Services Department for managing the Quapaw Nation housing units: waiting list form, housing application, pet agreement, and housing policy manual. Therefore, be it resolved that the Quapaw Nation Business Committee hereby adopts the waiting list form, pet agreement, housing application, and housing policy manual. Chair, I would like to motion to approve resolution number 051824-Q.
Second. We have a motion to approve 051824-Q. Is there any discussion? I would like to acknowledge the diligence, the thoroughness, and just an incredible work effort on the part of Misty Scott as well as Steve Estand in getting us to this point. Yep. This is a happy occasion. Everybody's worked really hard on this and couldn't be happier. It's a good set of documents. Thank you. For any further discussion? All those in favor of adopting 051824-Q, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The motion carries and it is. All right, we're moving on to donations. All right, so the first one is the Miami High School Baseball Booster Club. Don't say that fast 3 times in a row. Is there anyone here or present to speak on this particular donation request? Or on Zoom? Has the individual been unmuted? Would whoever is going to, whether it's Chris Mercer or anyone who wishes to present the Miami High School Baseball Booster Club donation request, you should be unmuted at this point.
Okay. Can you hear us?
Here's what I suggest. I think the others are in person this morning. Let's continue trying to get the unmuting situation resolved, and then we'll come
Can you
back
hear
to
us?
the Miami
We can
High
hear
School
you.
donation.
It says it's unmuted.
Next up is Wyandotte Bears Youth
That's unmuted.
Football. Is there anybody here to speak to that particular donation?
Yes, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I think the contact person was Jen McLeod.
Yes, I'm here on Zoom. Can you hear me?
Ms. Jen, there's one individual who can hear you, but all those in attendance are unable to hear.
Okay.
We can hear you now. Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Madam Chair. Yes, so my name's Jen and I'm with Wyandotte Youth Bears Football. And last year we had a unique opportunity where one of us came in contact with some former NFL players, and they came down, several of them, and hosted a football camp in Wyandotte, but it was open to the public. And so we have another opportunity to do that again this year. Again, open to the public from 1st grade to 12th grade. There'll be 2 separate sessions for age groups. But in order to do this, we're looking for sponsorships, of course, to provide the participants with camp T-shirts. And also, in addition to this, we kind of were looking at how, we don't necessarily like asking for donations, and we're always trying to think, well, how can we show appreciation? How can we, give back? And one of the ideas is we'd like to reward a senior that participates, that comes to the camp, with a $500 to $1,000 college scholarship. And that just kind of depends how much with the donations we are able to receive. And so that's just one way, we had the idea of, thanking the community for giving into our program and us giving back into the kids some way. And then in just addition to this, the funds go to the former NFLers. They have insurance they have to provide to put on the camp, as well as their fuel for travel and travel expenses. And then they also ask for some money out of it as well for their time. So the goal is $5,000 that would completely cover everything, but we don't want to ask just for that. We're thankful for any amount contributed towards it. We have several Quapaw tribal kids that play Wyandotte Youth Football, and just another way we would be honored for your sponsorship and donation is we would let those kids sign up for free for the future years. But I think that really sums it up. Do you guys have any questions for me?
Thank you so much, Ms. Chen. Does the BCE have any questions?
Madam Chair, I'll make a motion to donate $500 to the Wyandotte Bears Youth Football Program.
Second.
We have a motion to approve a $500 donation. Is there any further discussion or questions for the presenter? Hearing none. All those in favor of approving the $500 donation, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed? The motion carries and the $500 donation is approved. Thank you, Ms. Jen. Do we have anybody that is able to speak that's unmuted for the Miami High School Baseball Booster Club?
We're here.
Great. Okay. We'd love to hear.
So currently, the Quapaw tribe has an 8 foot by 8 foot outfield fence sign in center field. It was new last year, so the money you all donated last year actually went to purchase the sign. So this is just a renewal fee, and businesses around the area and the tribes around the area all pay, depending on how big the sign is, between $400 and $800 a year to have that advertisement on the center field. Well, you all are on the center field fence. So this is just a request to like a renewal fee to continue that advertisement in center field. The funds used by all the advertisements on the fence go to, like, this past year they bought new uniforms. The boys hadn't had new uniforms in 5 years, so some of the seniors had never put on a new uniform before, so we were able to purchase new uniforms. The funds purchased bats, balls, helmets, meals for travel,
Any player that's less fortunate and can't afford their own equipment, we use that through the Booster Club.
Great. Thank you so much. And I know it's an 8 by 8 sign and it's really good looking. So.
It is. It's nice looking. You guys' art department or whoever designed that did a really good job.
That's the best looking sign out there for sure.
I think so too.
Madam Chair, I move to approve the amount requested at $400.
We've got one recusal. Is there a second? Second. We have a motion on the floor to approve a $400 donation. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor of approving the $400 donation, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed? The motion carries and the $400 is approved. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you guys very much.
All right, so we're going on to the next one. It is the National Dance Competition.
Hello, my name is Mia Forbes.
She knew she might cry. She's just a little shy.
Mia, you're doing great.
Wrote her own speech. She said, "Hi, my name is Mia Forbes, and I am part of Karen's Dance Studio and a member of the junior company. I spend minimum 10 hours a week training to be the best I can be. In addition to dance, I'm an honor roll student in 5th grade at Central Elementary. I'm a competition dancer where I've received numerous awards and scholarships, and today I'm requesting a $500 donation to go to nationals." You can have her.
And I don't know if it's included.
She knew she might cry. She warned me. She was like, "I'm probably going to."
I don't know if it's included in everybody's packet, but if anybody wants to see them, they're two fantastic photographs of Mia. Her dance activities included in our packet, and it's remarkable.
Madam Chair, I so move to approve the $500 request, and Mia, keep dancing, sweetheart.
Second.
We have a motion on the floor to approve $500 donation request. Is there any further discussion, BC? All those in favor of approving the $500 donation, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The motion carries and the $500 donation is approved. The next one is the American Veterans Miami chapter. Get a microphone, please.
Hi, my name is Blaze Fagan. I'm a member of the American Veterans Motorcycle Club. The Backyard Bash is our annual event we do to raise funds to support veteran causes throughout the year, like VFWs, American Legions, replace like Memorial Day flags for GAR and for ourselves. So, what I requested would be for I think we're gonna do a silent auction this year. So everything would be going back to veterans.
So these items would be used as a part of that silent auction to raise funds?
Yes.
Wonderful. Thank you for that clarification.
Just have a real quick question. On the t-shirts and hoodies, are you wanting Quapaw Nation t-shirts and hoodies to be donated? And if so, how many?
I mean, we usually just do the gift certificates to the mercantile, but I mean, if you want to throw some of those in, it'd be appreciated.
I'm just reading off of what was on the application, so.
Yes.
Merchandise.
Madam Chair, I'll make a motion to donate 3 $100 mercantile gift cards as requested, and then add an additional $200 worth of t-shirts and hoodies from the mercantile as well.
We've got a motion on the table to approve 3 $100 mercantile gift cards plus t-shirts and hoodies up to $200. Is there any further discussion? All those in, oh, go ahead.
I was just going to ask if the merchandise could be from the museum as well. To use that variance of the $200, whether it be from the mercantile or from the Nation's gift shop at the museum.
I'm going to restate, make sure we've got the motion appropriate. It's 3 $100 mercantile gift cards plus t-shirts and hoodies from either the mercantile or the museum gift shop. Discussion? Thank you for that clarification, Davis. Okay. All those in favor of approving the donation, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. And the last one is the Leadership Joplin request. Lindsay Hickey?
Thank you, Madam Chair. First, I want to say thank you for allowing us to be here. I have 4 individuals from our Leadership Joplin. What Leadership Joplin is we are individuals from all over the community. We have some represented from the Freeman. We have some from American Ramp Company and others. So we are managers, executives from all over the place. We come together to network. So not only have I got to network for Ogapa Coffee, but I got to network for myself also. So I want to thank you guys for the opportunity for that. So what I came here today for was to ask for a donation request of $500. What this is going to forward is going to help with a park in Cunningham. Everyone knows a tornado went through in Joplin multiple years ago. What our class has decided was to build a cornhole, horseshoes, ping pong table, and a chessboard. So what that's going to be consist of, it's going to have concrete, metal that we're actually welding up. My husband and I will be helping with that. And so that's what all this donation is going to go to. How we want to help to make sure you guys are represented also for the donation, we'll put you guys on a plaque that shows that you guys are donors also. So like I said, the request is $500 and it would be much appreciated. If you guys have any questions. And it's used for all communities. Like it's the park, everyone gets to come. So it's really cool for the tribe. If you have kids and you're in Joplin, you want to play cornhole, you're more than welcome to stop by. It's free for everyone.
Specifically Cunningham Park. correct?
Cunningham Park.
Okay.
Yep.
Madam Chair, I move to make the donation request of $500 for Joplin Leadership. And I do know for a fact that not only have I gone there at the park and my grandchildren go there, and I know other families that do go actually specifically to Cunningham Park.
Yeah. Second.
So we've got a motion on the floor for a donation in the amount of $500. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor of approving the $500 donation, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed? The donation is approved.
Thank you. I appreciate
Thank
it. Another thing too is I want to give these girls a shout out. We have Georgia, Sam, Heather, and Amberly. They also came to not only support me to be here, but they want to know that they're here to support the tribe too. So I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here today. All right. We're going to go on to open forum, just so everybody's aware. The rules remain in place. In order to speak, an individual must have submitted the form or must pertain to topics on today's agenda. There's a 5-minute time limit, one trip to the podium if we had one, but time limit with the microphone. Be respectful. Please use the microphone. And we have an individual who submitted the form, so let us hear from Blaze Fagan first. Good morning.
Morning. The last 2 years, I've went to the cemetery committee about placing flags on Memorial Day weekend for our Quapaw veterans, but I was only allowed to do that. So I'm coming here today to ask permission to do that again, and then to extend out to anybody that has a veteran in the family cemeteries. If you want me to place one there, you get a hold of me, and I'll be glad to go put one out there for you guys.
So Blaze, is the request for permission to place flags on the veteran graves for Memorial Day?
Yes.
I just want to make sure I was clear. My apologies. Is it isolated to Quapaw Cemetery, or does it extend to some of the others?
We do our annual party. We buy our own flags. We do the Quapaw Cemetery, the Peoria Cemetery. We do GAR, and we donate flags to GAR. Then when we go to Shtop, Kansas, put out flags there. And then I want to honor as many veterans as I can. So I'm asking if family have their cemetery and there's veterans buried out there, I'd like to honor them too, if I can. So.
Thank you, Blaze.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Good. Good. Thank you. Thank you for doing that and honoring all of our veterans. Blaze, does everybody have your contact information? Sure would like to get that out to people to place those requests.
If you guys want to reach me, my phone number is 918-848-0189. If I don't answer, I'm at work. Leave me a text or a voicemail, and I'll get back with you.
Thank you so much. Do appreciate it.
And Chair, will we be able to get that information out to the Algonquin Communications so that all of our members that are not present will know that they can contact Blaze about getting a flag on their family member, veteran family member grave?
That's a fantastic idea. We can get that out pretty quickly over social media, and because time is running short between now and Memorial Day. So we can absolutely do that. Hold on just a second. We're going to go on. Is there anyone else who wishes to speak on a topic from today's agenda? I saw Brenda, Lindsay, Betty. Your hands. Barbara?
This is just for everybody about the senior trip or elder trip to Joplin on that day. Try to let us know how if you're interested in going so we can get a head count. Okay?
Thank you.
I just wanted to say something about Blaze. I really appreciate him doing that. And can the Quapaw tribe buy some flags for him and make it easier?
I'm not opposed to that. I support that.
It's such a worthy cause, and I believe in supporting our veterans.
Along with Blaze, I'm with the Agapa Coffee. I'm the manager. I want to donate a basket to the American Legion also. So, what do you need for coffee, and what do you need? When do you need it by? I can get you a basket.
It's fantastic. Thank you, Lindsay.
Under donations, you'll be glad to know we are not asking for donation. The lead agency is having camp all next week for the young people. Families, if they register and can donate something towards the registration fee, fine. No child will be turned away. It's hands-on activities. A lot of it is environmental, and even a tour to our mining site. So this is lead agency in Miami. It starts Monday, and all of our kids are welcome to come. Thank you.
Thank
Earlier, when Trenton was speaking, it reminded me, Wednesday morning, I got a long-awaited decision from the IBIA concerning the Western Chat Pile. Our family has been in litigation with that with an idiot named Rod Hall from Joplin, who's tried to fraudulently buy that chat pile for $25,000 but it's taken 9 years for the IBIA. It's been 9 years since that went to the IBIA in court. A judge had to rule on it, and it was ruled in our favor. So we ought to be able to try and help clean up the Superfund site, continuing by hopefully selling some of that chat. Also, you were speaking about Saracen and Quapaw Casino and things like that earlier. You know, in my tenure as the QNGA director, we conducted two over our years, in 2010 and then about 4 years ago also, forensic audits at Downstream. Has a forensic audit, you know, when Saracen began, it was pretty much carte blanche. There was not any oversight. There sure hasn't been any oversight from the federal government through QNGA because it was a commercial property. And I am very concerned. The liaison that you all are now, I understand, using also for Quapaw Casino is the second chief of one of our competitors. And so that looks like a conflict of interest to me for the second chief of one of our competitors, which is Indigo Sky, to be having proprietary information about our casino that we're building, as well as the one at Saracen. And I would highly recommend, because both the forensic audits at Downstream, wrongdoing was found, as we all know. And if there's only one Quapaw that I know of that's working at Saracen and has been for several years since it's been open. And now there are only, well, I don't want to categorize, but there's just white people running our casino in Arkansas, and there has been no audit. There has been no oversight. So I'm wanting to know if you all are planning a forensic audit before you continue to open this hotel.
So there are annual audits performed on all of the Quapaw entities, including Saracen.
An audit's different than a forensic audit.
It's a financial audit. You're absolutely right, Barbara. No doubt about that. The financial audit that's always been completed. I think that's really a matter for the DDA to determine whether something of that nature is required, whether it's an internal controls audit, a forensic audit, a variety of other reviews that might be necessary.
Well, that was going to be my first question, but I forgot about it. Is the oversight for the DDA, is that also covered with Saracen?
Yes, it is. It is.
Okay, so that may be something that, I mean, to me, it's very important that it be looked into. Also, with the proprietary information of both casinos, the liaison with construction is the second chief of another tribe. And that is questionable also. Not that they're, maybe as honest as the day is long, but it doesn't appear as though it is something that we should be doing. See. Oh, and sports betting. I've heard rumors about sports betting at Saracen, and I know that sports betting is a big thing now, and it's going to continue to be a big thing, I think. But, just like back in about 15 years ago or so, when the federal government took live betting off of internet, and that was in foreign countries, and then funneled to the United States. Had they not done that, it didn't look really good for bricks and mortar facilities, because people could sit in their living room or in their bedroom in their pajamas and, bet and game and play casino games and stuff like that. If we don't, if we put all of our chickens and eggs in one basket and with sports betting, that looks like in the future it could be the same. So I think, if we're really keying on a lot of sports betting, supporting Saracen and making us a lot of money down there, we want to be cautious as to how we plan ahead, because, at any point in time, they could change the rules, and everybody that internet games could, ruin the facility. People that go to the facilities are just wanting a physical contact with people, usually some kind of social work. But those that really game and spend a lot of money could do it without going to the casino. So because of the past, we want to kind of be cautious about that. Thank you.
Thank you, Barbara. I think I saw somebody else's hand go up.
Yeah, it's Cody Supernal. Just happens that today we have a meeting at 3:00, and one of the items that we'll be discussing is whether or not to hire an auditing firm to do a test on credit card use at Saracen, and that test will be on 3 months to determine whether or not there is valid reason to have a forensic audit, and that's pretty expensive. So we want to be sure that we don't spend money unnecessary. That is an item that Mick and I will be discussing there today.
Anybody else for open forum?
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a couple of comments in regard to some Barbara's comments. He insinuated that there's no Quapaws working down there. That's a true comment. I feel sure that if anybody wants to put an application in, it's Quapaw to work there would be considered. They wanted to move to Pine Bluff, Arkansas. Also, the statement that white managers, those jobs were advertised nationwide. There were no Native Americans that applied. We can't control who applies and control who's qualified. And any Quapaw is welcome to apply at Saracen. I want to make those few comments.
Thank you, Member Buffalo. Vice Chairman McKibben, would you please close us out in prayer?
Dear Father God, thank you for a beautiful day. Thank you for this place we have down here that we're able to do business. Thank you for being you've blessed us with this week. Thank you for all these folks. Thank you for the folks that got the fire going for us this morning, and thank you for the hard work of these cooks that they're preparing this meal for us. Let everybody have a safe trip back to their home place. Let them find it in good order. Get there and again for this.
Chair, I move to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor of adjourning, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? We're adjourned at 10:32. Thank you.
Keep them all at 10:32. Wishful thinking.